if Fresno County and the state of California would take down the rental prices like they have the mortgages and the interest on real estate, we'd have a place to stay. We're very low income, and we got tired of living in hotels, paying so much for hotels, so that's why we ended up here, so we'd have a little something.
Do you think the biggest obstacle is the money situation?
Money, and just, you know, this is one of the highest states for rent in the United States.
Yeah.
Hawaii. We beat Hawaii.
Wow.
You know? And that's pretty bad, especially with the real estate industry, the bottom dropping out of it like it has. The buyer's market right now, they should bring down the rent. We're paying $700 a month, $750 for a 2-bedroom apartment. It's ridiculous. I could go to Oklahoma and pay $350. You know, I don't want to uproot my family and have to go that way.
It's crazy because when I was in LA, it was $1,700 for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, and it's just
and that
insane.
was a few years back. Yeah.
It's insane.
It's gotten up since then.
My brother-in-law lives in Vista. He's paying $2,200 for a little 2-bedroom house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. If you want to live in anything, you know, middle class or any upper scale, you're going to pay $700 and up.
What was life like before you came down here?
Oh, as soon as we moved the tent,
well,
I went to bed.
A little less stressful.
I went straight to bed.
So I have to think every day, you know, what's going to happen.
What is the future, do you?
Well, we've had, the city council has been talking about pulling up Tent City. It'd be a shame because there's a lot of us that really don't have an income, that can't go anywhere else, you know what I mean? And they need this place.
Of course.
You know, if I absolutely had to, I could start paying for a motel $800 a month again. But I really don't want to have to do this. And like I said, there's others that don't have a penny that are out here, and they rely on this place and the churches to keep them going.
Well, people would argue that government assistance could help. Is this something that you've tried?
Government assistance don't help when it comes to disabled people. Honestly, my husband and I have been passed up 3 times for Section 8 and HUD, and we're both disabled.
Really?
My husband has herniated disc disease, and he's got, he's just wrecked. He's not even supposed to be walking. And they pass us up people that have good legs and backs and things that should be working.
Wow.
You know?
Isn't it something that in this country, one disability can change your life?
Yeah, and it does. It slows you down, and he feels bad enough because he can't work every day. You know, and we're out here. So you figure what a man feels like when their legs are cut out from underneath them both ways.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he's a 6-year Navy veteran. So you figure that they don't do enough for our boys. Our boys go overseas and give their lives and everything, and they don't give them nothing.
There's nothing waiting for them when they return.
They're lucky to get their hospitalization and their medical, maybe, if they put in the right forms.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. So, I have to ask, how long has it been since you've been here?
This is off and on 2 months now. I
see. I was talking to another lady who lives on the other side, and she knew our professor, Dr. Kennedy. She took a class, you know, and we were thinking the irony of it being in her class at one point and then being here now.
Yeah,
it's something that anybody can...
well, we're all multi-talented people.
And it's something that can happen to anyone.
I sang and played and wrote music with some of the best of them.
Really?
But here I am. You know, my son's multi-talented. In the 8th grade, my IQ was 165, so you figure. My husband's right behind me, and my son Justin, he's brilliant. You know, but sometimes life just don't open the right doors.
It's true.
And you got to pray a little bit harder and have a little bit more faith and hope that tomorrow's day will be the day, or maybe next week. You never know. But I do know that there's a lot more dependent people out here that have a lot less than I do, and I'd hate for them to lose this place because City Council decides that they got a hair up their behinds and they want them out of here because it's an eyesore. You know what? The theft has went down in these places to nothing.
Wow, good.
Streets have been kept cleaner than they've been in 2 decades.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
Who does that?
We do. We sweep the drains, we clean the drains, we keep the trash up out of the street.
There's a sense of unity.
And we try really hard to keep our messes from being too big. You know, but I mean, we moved from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, you know, because we had it condemned. Bad me. But we couldn't live there any longer, you know, it was dangerous, black mold, and so,
yeah.
You know, thank God there is somewhere we can go, that we were blessed enough to have this, and we have Cornerstone Church and Brother Kevin's church and so many others. Out the Salvation Army, our Baptist churches, you know, their outreaches have helped a lot with clothing, winter clothes especially, since this winter has been so hard.
Yes.
You know, plastic to cover the tents with. Pallets, you know.
Not the best insulation.
No, but you know, it's something else. It's something, you know.
It's better than just not having this at all.
It's better than sleeping on the street in a cardboard box.
Right.
It's what, you know. And a lot of us out here, if you don't have a tent and we got an extra one, we'll make sure you have one. And a mattress to sleep on, so you don't have to sleep on cold.
Trying to raise awareness.
It wouldn't hurt to have, even if it's just 2 or 3. You know, even if it's one for the women down there and one down here, it'd be really great. If we were in Kerman, I could probably get some of the farmers to donate a couple, but I'm not out there.
Yeah.
You know, that's my hometown. But
something else.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, sometimes if you talk to the farmers around here and you let them know what's going on, if they have something that's older like that, they'll make an issue of it, and for them, it's a write-off.
Wow.
You know,
Isn't that something?
So yeah.
Wow.
What I've noticed is that there is a sense of positivity amongst you all that I've heard speak so far, and I haven't heard anyone, you know, depressed and sad and complaining about their situations, except to explain.
It doesn't do any good to complain. Look, Mark Twain come from what? Do you even know where he came from?
No.
Mark Twain was a very poor farmer, very poor, and he left home early in order to be able to make his way because they weren't making enough. His mother and father couldn't make enough off the land to feed them. So what came from greatness?
Exactly.
You're going to find musicians out here, writers, artists, great artists. You know, some of the best writers, musicians I've known to come from out of here. You know, we're sitting on a couple right now. You know, I have a voice that carries 10 octaves.
Wow.
You know, and I've been there. I could probably still be there. I gave up my career for my family. You know, and what's known as the next up-and-coming Patsy Cline, my best. It certainly was.
Wow.
And we have a writer here, and just within less than feet from us. She's great. And hopefully someday she'll be able to share her strength and hope with everybody through her writing.
So, I mean, where's it coming from? Where's all this hope and positivity come from? What's the root of it?
I believe it's our higher power, and the strength between all of us has been there. We've all had hard times, and we have a tendency of pulling each other out of it. You know, but tomorrow we must go on. Tomorrow's another day.
So you believe in God?
I do. I was convinced.
Yes.
You know, at my lowest, I was convinced. You know, and yeah, I believe in God.
So, okay, you know, it's one thing to believe in God, but another thing to actually have to deal with some real issues. You know, I don't think this is very light to not have a home and you live in the U.S. I mean, how do you reconcile the two?
How do I believe in God, or how do I just...
You know, you believe in God, but here
emotionally,
I believe that He's brought me through more than this, and I'm going to go. I mean, I've been dead and been revived more than once. I'm not even supposed to be here. It's my son I worry about, his emotional well-being. He seems to be getting along pretty good, you know, so, yeah.
How old is he?
How old is he?
He's 21.
Oh, it's my age.
Yeah, and he's going to go start to school again. He come just a few days from being a licensed masseuse. had some trouble with my sister up north and had to come back here before he got his licensing. So he's going to go to school this summer, start his entrepreneurship.
Where at school is he?
He's in Star City, right here.
Oh, great.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. If he needs assistance with financial aid, have him see me.
Yeah,
What's
she
your
works
name?
there.
Justin.
Hi, Justin. My name is Akberet. Oh, don't worry about it. Nice to meet you.
She said if he needs assistance at city for financial aid to get a hold of her, she does that.
I can help you with your financial aid. I do not have any number, but if you go to City College, you go to the financial aid office. Basically, I know that homelessness exists not only, in the developing nations, but within the U.S. It's unfortunate, but it does exist. To come out here and to see the whole, and everyone, and how they are there for each other, the sense of community, that really took me by surprise. And also, they seem to be believers, and they seem to always have hope and expect great things to happen in their life, to change in the future. And I asked why, how come you're so positive? Where is this coming from? And how it's God. And the response was, I believe in God, or we believe in God. And how do you reconcile the two? You believe in God, but here you are in this situation. How come you're comfortable with that? And so just to see how strong a faith they have, and how they, even beyond complaining, they seem to be content, and in the state that they're in, it really moved me. And Dr. Kennedy, she talked about Jesus and the church not actually being the building, and how we should have church outside, even here with this people. And the 2 times that Jesus went to church and how he acted. That's right. And that really put things into perspective for me, and because I had actually never related Jesus' reaction towards church in this community here. I had actually never had the opportunity to put it together and kind of think about it in my mind. So now my outlook about ministry, or even my own personal life as a believer, has to change. So
That's great.
thank you for that.